Good afternoon, Your Highnesses, Excellencies and dignitaries and members of the ABLF network and all of our wonderful guests here today. My name is Saksayam Chidchob. I'm a policy and strategy specialist based in the UK, and as ever, I am delighted to be here at the ABLF. We have a fascinating guest with us today. His Excellency Saksayam Chidchob has been the Minister of Transport in Thailand since 2019. And throughout his 2 years leading the ministry, he has played a vital role as a leader towards strategic planning and has developed numerous mega projects to improve Thailand's infrastructure and to enhance the international transport system, including increased connectivity across Asia. He has numerous accolades to his name and a distinguished political career that spans over 2 decades. We've taken on the feedback from our guests and audience that you'd like to know a little bit more about our political guests. So let me tell you something about His Excellency. He was born on the 9th of November 1962 in the Surin province. He is the son of former speakers of the House of Representatives Chai Chidchob and Laong Chidchob. And he's also the brother of Nguyen Chidchob, so a highly political family. He has a Bachelor in Political Science from Thammasat University, which he gained in 1984. And he followed this up with a master's degree in political science from the National Institute of Development Administration in 1988. His Excellency used to serve in the position of the Deputy District Chief in the Department of the Provincial Administration in the Minister of the Interior. But in 2001, he quit the civil service to enter frontline politics. And he ended up winning his very first election in his own hometown as a member of the House of Representatives in 2001, and then again in 2005. And he was appointed as chairman of the working group of the Minister of the Interior. He left frontline politics temporarily in 2007, and 2 years later, under the government of Abhisit Vejjajiva, he was appointed chairman of the working group of the Minister of the Interior. And in that role as panel chairman, his responsibility was to screen the work agenda of ministers, making him a highly influential figure in the Interior Minister. In 2012, he returned to frontline politics and was elected as Secretary General of the Boomjathay Party, which was led by the Public Health Minister, Chan Virakoj. After the March 2019 general election, the party joined the Palang Pracharat-led coalition, and he made his ministerial debut with the really important A-grade transport portfolio. He is known for his revolutionary and progressive projects. And one such example is that of a Thai land bridge. The Thai land bridge is a transport route that would cross the Malay Peninsula to connect ports on either side. And I mentioned this project to you because it is something that has been an idea in Thailand since the 17th century. Building a transport route from east to west would shorten the distance that cargo ships have to travel to carry goods between East Asia, the Middle East, and Europe by about 1,200 kilometers. And if His Excellency can make it a reality, a land bridge would cut shipping times by about 2 days compared with the current route. His Excellency has stressed the importance of building a land bridge, calling this project his most important yet. And he has said that his intention is to pave the way so that Thailand can become Southeast Asia's economic tiger cub again. His Excellency has urged agencies to expedite the Southern Land Bridge mega project, which would connect the Gulf of Thailand with the Andaman Sea. His Excellency also intends to build 16-metre deep ports at both ends of the land bridge, with direct connections to the nation's rail and highway networks. The idea is that the ports will accommodate both goods and passenger transport, with the potential for pipeline transport too. Areas behind the ports would be developed as special economic zones as well, so you can hopefully see why His Excellency thinks it's such an important project. He's also spoken clearly about his desire that the project's infrastructure construction should focus on minimising the impact on the environment and communities while encouraging public participation. And His Excellency has spoken about prioritising benefits for the local community, by setting a minimum quota for local workers and social responsibility plans. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of context about His Excellency's work and history. And so now, Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to hand over to you. I know you have some comments you'd like to share with the audience.
Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to extend my gratitude to the ABLF team for the invitation to participate in the event today. It is an honor to bring forward the topic of the long road to economic stability to the light here at the ABLF Talks Virtual Conclave 2021. Under General Prayut Chan-o-cha administration, every sector has pushed forward the government policies into actions to drive long-term economic growth domestically and expand to the international level. It may be known to all of you that major national development is purportedly key to deliver economic growth and societal benefit. And to ensure such goals, the Ministry of Transport Infrastructure initiative involve extensive physical infrastructure, legislation reformation, and other multimodal transport. For instance, we hope to enhance accessibility to public transport by more innovative streams. We are putting our effort into ensuring the movement of people and goods from one location to another to be seamless, safe, net zero, connected, cost benefit, accessible, and reliable domestically, internationally. Globalization, domestic rapid evolution, we hope to establish a connect corridor. Thailand is navigating through our channels to show the country contribute as significant member. We are progressing in laying more foundation to the regional transport connectivity, such as Asian Highway Network or the Great Asian Highway, for instance. The total length of roads is about 45,000 kilometers, passing through 32 countries to connect Asia and Europe, and Singapore Kunming Railroad Link project that link internal city of ASEAN country with Kunming. The project aims to encourage economic integration among the ASEAN countries. According to the 20 years Thailand transport system development strategy, the eminent is set inclusive for inland marine, air, and rail transportation from 2018 to 2037. The ministry is also committed to the motorway and railway master plan, or MRMAP project, with integrated motorway and double track integrated railway system to assemble with the ASEAN community, connecting local manufacturers to international markets. Another milestone project is the Bangkok Nong Khai high-speed railway project, which is our pilot high-speed railway route. The project is currently under construction. It will enable only 3 hours traveling time from Bangkok to the border of Laos. This represents the first step in connecting Thailand with other Southeast Asian countries to rail transport and establishing Thailand as a logistical hub of Southeast Asia. Aside from land project, the ministry hopes to facilitate the shipment of large volume of goods and comparatively low transport costs. The government promised improved marine transportation at an international standard. We seek to facilitate a competitive and efficient port industry which is cost effective and operate at a timely manner. At the municipal level, the Southern Land Bridge project is to be highlighted here, as it connects the Andaman Sea and the Gulf of Thailand, Vietnam and Chumpon. The project is expected to develop connectivity between the Southern Economic Corridor and the Eastern Economic Corridor in the future. It will link not only the Andaman Sea and the Gulf of Thailand, but will interconnect the Far East economic across China, Japan, South Korea, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East via Thailand. Another important project is the mega project within the Eastern Economic Corridor, EEC. The expansion of Mataput and Lam Chabang deep sea ports is expected to enhance sea port capacity and accommodate a higher demand for international marine transport and logistics. In parallel with the high-speed rail, reducing time traveling among Suvarnabhumi, Dornmueang, and Utapao to 1 hour at a total length of 220 kilometers. The project ensures faster, safer, and more reliable commute between Thailand designated airport and EEC area. Expecting to open in 2024. Finally, the diversity of air transport is offered to boost internal business related to traveling, trading, investment, and tourism. The ministry has been promoting safe and inclusive aviation service at both domestic and international level to ensure national security and upgrade Thailand into a regional aviation hub by expanding air transport capacity of Suvarnabhumi Airport and pushing forward aviation personnel development to international level at the international standard in operation. Despite the challenge from the current COVID-19 pandemic, especially on economic and transportation sides, the continuity of Thai government measures and policy coordination among government agencies would crucially support their recovery. I, on behalf of the Ministry of Transport, Royal Thai Government, will continue giving my utmost effort to ensure sustainability and raise Thailand investment opportunity and hold it as the Ministry core missions. Thus, as we gather here today, is good opportunity to encourage everyone to discuss and share the possibility of such implementation that would bridge the gap on our partnership for our future economic sustainability. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'm sure that the audience, just like me, were absolutely fascinated to hear about that. The Asian Highway Network, 45,000 kilometers passing through 32 countries to connect Asia and Europe. I can't imagine the scale of that infrastructure and what that will do to change economic integration and prospects amongst the relevant countries. And it is brilliant to hear that there's a 20-year plan for the development of the transport system. So for everybody watching, if you think about where we are now and where Thailand is aiming to get to by 2037, I'm sure, like me, you'll be fascinated to see the developments as that happens. Also brilliant to hear about the high-speed railway project. I know we in the UK are very focused on our HS2 project, so it'd be great to see the development of that railway that means that we can enable 3-hour travel time from Bangkok to Laos, connecting Thailand with other countries. As we've all seen, the importance of interconnectivity and globalization, facilitating the shipment of large volumes of goods at low transport costs across Asia. The Southern Land Bridge project, as I'd mentioned, which I think is an absolutely thrilling project to see the development of, especially as it's been in talk since the 17th century, and how wonderful it would be to see His Excellency deliver that, something that's been talked about and dreamt about for 3 centuries. And finally, we were able to hear about the transport and diversity by air, talking about safe aviation and pushing that personnel development. So Your Excellency, thank you so much for sharing the details of that. If you'd be so kind, I'd love to just ask you a follow-up question. Thailand has done a huge amount in terms of using artificial intelligence. So could you tell us a little bit more about how Thailand has used AI, GPS and other measures to streamline traffic and transport? And I'd love to hear what the impact of such measures has been as well.
Thank you. The Ministry of Transport had been emphasizing technology and innovation to foster Thailand infrastructure development. In all modes of transportation, aiming to ensure faster, safer, and more reliable of people's journey. Firstly, to improve the efficiency in transport system, Thailand has been using the GPS technology to accumulate public transport data. The received data will be evaluated and used for efficiency policy making in the future. Moreover, Thailand also used Thailand modernization CNS/ATM system, TMCS, which is the largest air traffic control system to manage air traffic. It maximizes the potential of air navigation service in Thailand, in accordance with the international standard, while accommodating the growing number of expand flights in the future. In parallel with version traffic service VTS, to control the ship entering Thailand with radar to keep track of vessel movement and provide navigation safety to significantly reduce maritime accident and increase streamline marine traffic. Another, since road transportation has been one of the main methods in Bangkok, the ministry had introduced an innovative video tolling system, M-Flow, to allow free-flow high-speed tolling, which is adapting AI technology to capture and process the vehicle registration flat data that the driver can maintain the speed while passing through plaza of motorway and expressway. That will solve traffic congestion and increase the efficiency of traffic management system and road safety to enhance people well-being. Finally, the ministry had also started the rubber fender barrier project to develop road safety equipment made from rubber to develop for reducing the impact of collision as well as to achieve economic stability. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And it's so wonderful to hear about how Thailand is innovatively and creatively using technology. I was fascinated to hear about the accumulation of public transport data using GPS. And I think that will absolutely help you in your work over the next 20 years of your plan in order to make efficient policy making. So really fascinated to see how that evolves. And actually to think about how you're managing air traffic and preventing any issues in the air and to control ships entering Thailand through radar. Really fascinating to hear about these different applications of data. I know, of course, that many countries around the world use toll roads and you often see those long queues. So it'd be really interesting, and I'm sure policymakers around the world will want to hear from you about the impact of the high-speed tolling and how that video tolling system and the AI works so that they can also incorporate the same in their own countries and their own systems. And the rubber fender barrier project is great to see how that actually works in practice, because you know, one death from a road accident is one death too many. So thank you so much, Your Excellency, for sharing all of those different elements of how you are using data, AI, GPS, and other measures to streamline traffic and transport. Thank you also for sharing your plans for the future. And I know you've got a report coming out next year to look at the feasibility of the land bridge. So I'm sure we'll all be keeping our eyes out for that. To our wonderful audience, I'm sure lots of you have been watching, you have lots of questions, comments, thoughts to share, whether it's about transport or anything else. Do post on our social media wall with the hashtag ABLFcity. Don't forget, while you're on the platform, to visit the Partner Expo, which hosts ABLF's own booth, where you can watch past videos and browse through magazines, including the ABLF Times. You can also visit the customized booths for our partners at this time. Remember that if you missed a part of this session or any other session, you can always come back here to the platform. And after the end of today, all of the sessions from today's conclave and all previous conclaves will be available for you to view on demand anytime. I'd highly recommend it. There are some great speakers today, but also there have been some brilliant speakers over the last year now, actually. If you'd like to partner with the ABLF City and any of our initiatives, please do visit the partner booth or contact us. And don't forget to share screenshots of your favorite moments of the ABLF Talks Live. And if you do so, you could get featured on our live social media wall. Finally, tell us which global leaders you'd like to see on the ABLF stage. We will absolutely do our best to get them here for you in the coming months. So don't be shy about your requests. And finally, thank you so much to Your Excellency for joining us today. To our wonderful audience, thank you for joining us today. And remember that we are back every month featuring global leaders in powerful conversations.